Hello y'all, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss one of my favorite topics, home decor. We're going to talk a little bit today about the Grandmillennial Home Decor. What I want to do is just explain a little bit about what it is, give you guys some examples of what it is, and then also share with you guys some of the stores that I have found, though you will quickly come to find that you can pretty much find it anywhere if you know what you are looking for. Without further ado, we're just going to have a little chit chat about the Grandmillennial Home Decor Style, what I love about it, how I'm planning to incorporate it into my home as we are sort of renovating and making over our house, how I kind of am planning on incorporating it into rooms without going too crazy over the top, though trust me, at times I really want to, and in some rooms I just might. If you are wondering what the heck is this Grandmillennial thing that she is talking about, basically it is sort of granny chic is one way that people describe it. It's really taking a mix of vintage, older things, combining them with traditional and sort of classic home decor style, but in a more modern way. This style can be, in my opinion, done in a couple of different ways. You can do it in a very bold, I don't even want to say over the top because it's just fun, but a bold way or a more subtle way, depending on how you like for things to be in your house, what kind of color palettes you like to use. One website I came across, and I'll link it down below, describes it as traditional decor ideas for women who love color, patterns, frills, and vintage. So again, sometimes it's referred to as granny chic style, but it really does just combine more of traditional, homey feeling pieces with some modern elements that help it to feel like a millennial version, like a grand millennial. One of my favorite things about the Grandmillennial style is that it really does embrace very traditional home decor styles, classic home decor styles. Again, some things that people would consider granny or antique or vintage. It really embraces those and finds ways to incorporate them and make them feel more not just modern and updated, but feel very purposeful and feel like you didn't just take your grandma's home decor and plop it in your house. It still feels like your own and unique, but it's taking pieces that have been loved for many a generation in some cases. And that's kind of what I really like about this style. There's lots of ruffles and frills are incorporated, but also fringe. I really love the fringe on an ottoman or a sofa or a pillow, something like that. The use of florals and patterns like chintz patterns, traditional floral patterns with magnolia, or just other bold floral patterns, some birds, a lot of cranes and water birds, things like that. To me, there is definitely a coastal grandmother, coastal vibe that can go along really nicely with the Grandmillennial style. If you like more of coastal home decor, you can definitely find that or a version of that in the Grandmillennial style. But I just really love the blending of the traditional classic with a little bit of something modern. My quick little soapbox about why this style speaks to me so much. It's because my grandma, my dad's mom, we always called her Gima, but her name was Joanne. She lived in southern Georgia near the right on the coast, so low country coastal Georgia, and she would always have she had that very traditional coastal home decor in many ways. She had a lot of the ceramic porcelain fish up on her shelves. But she also had, I just distinctly remember these sofas, these oversized sofas that were red, just very traditional southern kind of style. She also had a lot of rattan and bamboo and wicker and natural materials like that. They all just scream my grandma to me. And there was a lot of things about her personal style that I loved and that I try to mimic still, and also her home decor that I love. And I remember when we first got married and we first started trying to do some decorating with absolutely no money, I wanted to find her sofas. I searched high and low. Could I find some Southern living version? Could I find something like those? And I never did. I kind of got influenced by a lot of other things and felt oh, that would just be granny. And at the time, I've been married for 18, this year will be 18 years. So it was a very long time ago. And Grandmillennial type style obviously wasn't really a thing then. So I just had no idea how to incorporate that. And at the time, farmhouse decor was really becoming the thing. And then it kind of became modern farmhouse. But I have always liked bolder colors. I have tried so many times to do like the all white, bright kind of thing, but in my last house I did my dining room makeover and I used this like very dark, deep blue color. I always wanted to incorporate more bold things. I went with a lot of like plain colors on the walls and really bold curtains in my boys' room, in our living room. Since we moved into this house in 2020, I have tried to find my style in this house. This house in and of itself is kind of a bit of a mix of styles because it was originally built in the 1930s. The first like renovation was done on it in the 90s. And so it's kind of got a little bit of old with a little bit of new, but not, obviously the 90s was a long time ago. I'm accepting that now. It's kind of just in between. Everything is just kind of in between. Honey, get down. I'm babysitting my sister's dog who has no manners apparently. I'm not one to talk. Jesse does the same thing. I'm gonna pop up some pictures and show you like some examples of the Grand Millennial style. Now these first set of pictures that we'll go through are gonna be some of the more bold versions of Grand Millennial style. So this is where people are truly like embracing it, going all the way. Again, anything like this is going to be hard for me as not a professional interior designer. When you're going really bold with something, you really have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, it can just end up looking like a total mess. So this is very bold, and to me, I look at pictures like this and I take inspiration from them. I take little pieces and go, I love that, I love that. The fringe on the sofas, I love the velvet, I love the lamps, I love the artwork, that kind of thing. And then as you kind of ease into the more like tamped down version, this is where to me it kind of is very classic with just little pops of that Grand Millennial style, you know, sort of added in. And then, like I said, there's also what I've kind of deemed as like the coastal version of it. And so I really just like a mix of all of them. I love Charleston. I love like low country South Carolina. I love the live oaks and the Spanish moss and the slow southern draw and just the slower pace of life and living and all of that. Ever had my druthers and the money, I would totally move to Charleston. It's just so insanely expensive. But I do love it, and I love that kind of traditional Southern style as well. I've just never really known exactly how to incorporate it, and I feel like this like Grand Millennial decor style has like inspired me and given me some ideas that combine sort of all the things that I love in home decor and that also feel personal to me because I have my grandmother's piano in here. And I've wanted where that space was to feel almost like a tribute to her. And so like in that room, I'm thinking of doing a really bold wallpaper floral print that reminds me of her sofa, and kind of having that little section of the house have more of like a bold wallpaper where the piano is, and it just feels like a tribute to her. One thing I'm not shying away from as I move forward in redecorating is wallpaper, because it really can just totally transform a space and make it feel, you know, just totally different. And as I've improved my DIY skills as well, doing shiplap and beadboard and new trim and all that kind of stuff, I feel very confident in my skills. I want to do some beadboard. I also want to do some shiplap and just some other things to make our home feel more cozy but also open. I don't even know if that makes any sense at all. I need to liven up these spaces. They feel a little bit like an asylum to me. If this is like a home decor style that you're interested in, you think you might already be going in that direction just naturally, and you want to just, you know, get some ideas or inspiration and see if it's a direction that you would want to go with a room in your house or something like that, I will put down below in the description box where you can follow my Pinterest board for like the Grand Millennial style. I also have a whole separate like Amazon page section for all of my home decor finds that kind of fit into this Grand Millennial style, because let's be honest, it can get very expensive. So of course I love hunting down like good deals on things that really fit this style but that are not insanely expensive. And then also on LTK, so that's the shopping app, and it's just a great place to follow even for inspiration, even if you don't want to actually shop through it. You just want to save things. You can save posts and stuff so that you have them to go back and look at later for inspiration, that we don't lose the posts and lose the links. It's kind of a place where you can create your own account and just hold on to stuff. So I'll put all those links down below if you're interested in this home decor style and you want to follow along. But the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is some of the stores that I have found that I feel like sell decor that fits into this style, and where I've been kind of shopping as I've been piecing things together. So the first thing is obviously antique stores. Now, antique stores, depending on where you live and where you go, they were once, for a while there, for a good chunk of years there, filled with a lot of like farmhouse stuff. So it was very easy to find like farmhouse, fresh egg signs, love lives here signs. And I do feel like, at least where I live in South Carolina, we have a couple of amazing antique and vintage stores that have some amazing finds from some of these older, like we have a community of homes in like our downtown area that are like $1 million homes, and they've been here for a very, very long time, because it's like a horse colony. People would come down from New York to ride their horses. There was a whole train that would take them back up and their horses. There was like carts that were like train cars that were for the horses specifically. And so as these older folks pass on, their families come and empty out these massive houses of theirs, and they take a lot of these beautiful, incredible quality pieces of furniture to some of these local stores. So I personally have found a lot of really amazing things for incredible prices. This huge like bookshelf thing that I have in my kitchen, in front of it has like arches and stuff. It's a beautiful piece of furniture, and it was $800. Something like that would be like $35, $45, $5,500 at Pottery Barn, Restoration Hardware, like one of those stores. It would be so much more expensive. I have found some really, really good deals that way. So antiquing is definitely a good way to go. And let me know if you guys would want to like, I don't really do like shop with me videos because I get weird about filming in public, but I really love going antiquing and shopping for this type of home decor. So if it's something you guys would be interested in, let me know down below in the comments, and maybe we could try one. Maybe we'll do a go antiquing with me, and I'll share with you guys some of the finds, or just go shopping with me in general to some of the stores that I found this stuff at, and I can share with you kind of like, this is a piece I think really fits well. Look for this kind of thing. So that's pretty obvious, right? Look for good vintage antiques shops. That's a great place to find this kind of home decor. Also, I recently made a trip to Home Goods, and Home Goods, again, at least where I live, I know stock is different everywhere, but the Home Goods where I live has a lot of this kind of home decor, especially right now because it is spring, and so they're putting out a lot of the blues and the greens, peaches, pinks, greens, blues. And I found these lamps. I don't know if you can see them behind me, but they are like these tall, skinny lamps. I had been looking at very similar ones at a store called Ballard Designs that we're going to talk about in a minute. And they were, I want to say like $200. And you guys, I don't know where lamps have gotten too big for their britches, but they have, because the price of lamps is astronomical, and I truly can't understand it. I saw these, and I had been looking at the tall, skinny ones at Ballard's that were like over $200, and I just kept thinking, I just am not going to spend $400 on 2 lamps. Saw these at Home Goods. They were $29.99 a piece. They had the perfect little shades on them that are cream with a light blue design. I was like, get in my cart. I was just killing time while my daughters were at a movie, but I was like, you have to come home with me. So definitely places like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, again, for like items to decorate the shelves with, some of the like porcelain type things, as well as pillows and lamps, pictures. I was shocked at the beautiful pictures at Home Goods for very good prices. Things that are like stretched canvas with frames, or even like big gold frames, ornate frames. I was really shocked. I'm talking like $50 to $150 for these huge, beautiful pictures. I really feel like Home Goods is kind of a hidden gem when it comes to that. And obviously places like, once you know what you're looking for specifically, I do feel like Wayfair is another really great option. The Kelly Clarkson line at Wayfair is everything. I've ordered a few things from her line, and the quality has been incredible. And so she has some really beautiful like chairs, like wingback chairs and stuff that have like upholstered chairs that have bolder patterns and prints and stuff that I think would be really beautiful additions. I'll link all these stores down below for you so you can check them out. But one of my favorites is Ballard Designs. You can shop online. They also have a few store locations, not one near me. Their stuff is and can be very pricey depending on what you're looking for. So I do tend to wait for sales, wait for coupons if I'm going to get something from them, and wait for them to start clearancing stuff out. Or it's just a really good way to like get some good inspiration and ideas if maybe it's out of budget to actually purchase from them. Because like I said, some of their stuff is really expensive, but it is really beautiful, and the quality so far of anything I've ordered from them has been excellent. So I really like their drapery rods. Another place that I recently discovered is called Society Social. I'm so bummed. It's a store in Charlotte. We used to live in Charlotte. We don't live there anymore, but I do go back fairly frequently, so I will definitely be popping into Society Social the next time I'm in Charlotte. This woman that owns this shop, and you can shop online though. It's all very curated. Again, it's at a slightly higher price point, but it is really beautiful. Another excellent place to get inspiration and ideas that can just get your wheels turning, so that when you are out at the antique places, the vintage places, the home goods, the TJ Maxx's, that you know, like, aha, that piece, while it doesn't seem like much by itself just sitting on the shelf there, I know in combination with all these other things that this would look amazing. Another one is called Caitlin Wilson Designs. Again, we're kind of moving up in price here because her stuff is also very expensive. I believe she's out of Charleston. She's a designer. So it is going to be, you know, like Studio McGee. They have a line at Target that's like, all right, that's affordable stuff. And then if you go to their website and try to shop from their website, it's like insane, like $600 for a vase or something. I'm like, who's buying this stuff? Caitlin Wilson is kind of like, maybe someday she'll have a line in Target that'll be more affordable versions of what she sells on her website as a designer. But I also understand that, like, there's interior designers out there that do this work for a living, and they decorate people's insanely expensive mansions and homes, and these are the kind of places that they shop, and they will put a $600 vase in someone's house. If I put a $600 vase in my house, I would have to, like, tape my children's hands behind their backs, and everyone would have to live in a straitjacket. And then, of course, also Etsy. Fantastic, especially if you're looking for more custom, like curtains, drapery, pillow covers, things like that. You can get the inspiration from some of these other websites and then go hire somebody on Etsy. But those are thus far some of my favorite places to shop for this type of home decor. So if you guys are already into the style and you're like, Angie girl, we've been here for years, I don't know where you've been, and you know of other places to shop, please let us know down below in the comments. I would love to look, and maybe others would love to check it out too. So if you know of anything else, share down below. That's kind of it for this video. I just wanted to like talk to y'all a little bit about this like style that I really like, and kind of the direction I'm going as I am starting downstairs. I finally pretty much finished all 3 of my kids' rooms upstairs. And so now I feel like I can really focus my attention down here, because I wanted to get their spaces done before I really, started investing the time into the downstairs. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of the Grand Millennial style. Like I said, it's not for everybody. I totally get that. There's no one style that's for everyone. It may not be your style, but I really love it, and it feels very nostalgic to me. And as I get older, I like the nostalgic vibes. So that's it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.